You escaped the chaos, and people are upset about that. They're mad because they can no longer rope you in to their drama, into their mayhem, into their dysfunction, because you saw through it and you decided, listen, I'm not going to be a participant of this wayward behavior. I'm not going to subject myself to nonsense that is holding me back or has the potential to hold me back, to drain my energy, to cause me stress, to cause me anxiety, to make me unproductive. I'm not going to continue this negative cycle. I'm going to I'm going to rise above it, and I'm not going to be a player in their game, right? So it could be like that where you escaped the conflict, you could have escaped the chaos, you could have escaped the trickery, the bribery, the narcissism, you name it. You're no longer going to be a part of that. And because you cut the cord on these toxic cycles, you're healing from it. You're healing and you're getting better, and more doors are opening up for you because you're not dealing with unnecessary stress, unwarranted negative circumstances that you didn't ask for, right? Because you escaped the chaos of the situation, you cannot be controlled. You cannot be made into a puppet and to dance the dance of the perpetrator who is out to create calamities and hoping everybody falls victim and everybody's more malleable to them or for them. You didn't, so now you're kind of like this threat, this rebellious threat that got away. You're this person now who people feel like you escaped, and you're not somebody that they could control and use to their advantage, right? So now, you are this person who broke free. You're the person who made that choice. Maybe you're the one that went against the grain. You're the only one, perhaps, who actually managed to escape, had the willpower and the strength and the resilience to escape, to know that this is something that had to be done for you to be well, for you to recover, for you to get away from the grips of the situation before it consumed you. There could be people a part of this negative dynamic that are jealous of your escapism. They could be jealous of your freedom. Maybe they know now that you're no longer tethered, and so because of that, you're going to have more of a brighter future. And perhaps they're still tethered, or they're still tied, or they still have that drama that they're attached to that they've not been able to escape. But you have, so they could be jealous of the freedom and what your freedom represents and all the opportunities that you're going to be able to receive and enjoy because you're not with the mess. And put it in the comments, I'm not with the mess, right? That you were able to escape. You knew what you had to do. You knew that this situation was becoming more volatile, perhaps, was becoming more problematic, was becoming more strained. It could have been causing you mental health problems, right? It could have been causing you a lot of anxiety that was disrupting your life across multiple facets, and you just couldn't take it anymore. Something had to be done. That cord had to be cut, and you did that, right? So now it's like you're better off for it, but people are going to be mad that you cut the chaos out. You cut the noise out. You're not about to be a part of these, trickery type games anymore, these juvenile games where you continue to be attacked and destroyed and stalled and stopped for someone else's pleasure, for someone else's ego issues, for someone else's control issues, right? That's not love. That's not respect. That's control. People who take an authoritative stance and are here to divide and conquer. That's not our cup of tea, right? We're trying to go up and we're trying to stay up. And it's very difficult to do that when you're tethered to nonsense, right? So you cut the chaos out, or you cut the chaos off, or you cut off the conflict that was threatening to consume you. And because you did that, people are up in arms. Maybe you're the only one that got away. You could be the only individual who survived the attacks mentally, right? Of course, is what I mean. Mainly, it could be in other ways, right? But mentally, you freed yourself from the confines that were closing in. I've had many moments where I feel like a situation is just closing in on me, unless I was going to take a drastic step or measure to combat that. There's been many a times where I've had to push back against a situation that was starting to get out of control, because if I hadn't, I would have succumbed to it, right? And I know what I don't want, and I know what I do want. So you have to move in the way of what you want. Chaos threatens to destroy the body and to destroy the mind. Too much stress will deteriorate you. And I'm not a doctor of any variety, but I have felt immense stress, and I know exactly what it can do and what it will do if you do not nip it in the bud and have it under control. Sometimes that involves cutting chaos out, stepping away from a toxic situation, distancing yourself from folks that mean no good for you. How many times I had to do that? I don't have enough toes and fingers to count, right? It's still doing it to this day, having to cut people out and cut people off and distance myself from situations that are threatening to destroy. Because if not, I'm going to be in the same pool with these folks. I'm not trying to swim with them. I'm not trying to be around like that. You know what I mean? I want to live life to the fullest. Cutting the chaos, cutting the conflict out is going to get people razzled or frazzled. Razzled. It's going to get people on edge, right? Because it's you taking a stand, and you being aware, and you letting that awareness be known. Let all these folks know that you're not about to play that no more. That you actually have a lot of things to look forward to when this chaos and the conflict and the mayhem is getting in the way. It's becoming a problem. It's becoming a deterrent. It's becoming an issue, a blockage, an obstacle that we no longer want to, mitigate, right? Or we don't want to deal with. We had to mitigate the situation by cutting the situation off. And so we had to do what we had to do. And people are going to be mad mostly, once again, because they don't control you now at this point. Once you've made your escape, or once you've cut the chaos out, or distance yourself, or start talking to people different, start moving different around these folks, then they see that they cannot control you, right? That you're in control of your own life, and you're not about to play that game where somebody else is the person that gets to dictate what you do and how you do it and how you feel. Right? How many people I've dealt with that have tried to dictate how I'm going to feel and what I'm going to do. And it's like, nah, I'm going to take care of that. Right? So let it be known in the comments if you had to cut the chaos out, to cut the drama out in order to salvage your life. Let it be known. I thank you guys so much for joining me on the Mindset Elevator. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Stay up, and please leave your commentary in the comment section, okay? I love you guys a lot. Stay up.